And we are rolling on July 18th here at UCLA, where it's a beautiful day. Go around that way. We're just getting started. Go around that way. The sunshine is shining. There are no princesses outside getting ready to go to a ball. And we're going to hear from Lynn, who's going to share with us her experience of repeating her mantra and that sociological experiment and telling us what happened. So Lynn stands before you, managing attention, in the power stance, feet wider than your shoulders. Yes, good. Lock your legs, good. And she's managing attention. She's looking around the room, making sure everyone's looking up. Computers are closed. Telephones are away. And she's fighting friendly eyes near the front and center. She's saying to herself, I respect my audience, and really means it. Say your name, feel the love, start your speech.
Hi, my name is Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
Good afternoon. And if we have class here, we'll meet like hundreds of people every day. Among the hundreds of people, we will have some further contact with a small number of people. Among the small number of people, we will encounter respect or disrespect, and some stories involving good, bad, and ugly stories. First, I'm going to talk about a good story. Last Wednesday, there was an emergency on Wednesday night. We were all evacuated. And one of my friends that was screaming before, so we worked very slowly. When the emergency released, we went back to the door. There was a worker who looked very tired and helped us to open the door. And he said, "Can I help you?" We said, "Thank you." And I think we need your help because my friend's leg is not very comfortable. And then I bought a bottle of water to the worker because I saw he was very tired before. And when I gave the water to him, he looks very surprised and happy and said, "Oh, I'm so glad to help you guys and to make sure everyone is safe." And move to the backstory. One day, when I have a lunch in the dining hall, I asked one of the workers, "Can I have noodles with tofu, please?" And she didn't answer me and helped me to make the food. And when she finished, I tried to get the food on top of the table. But she just like threw the plate on the table. Your two noodles flew out of the plate. And I think it's so awkward, but I just get the plate and go. And the last story will be the ugly story. Last Tuesday, I went to see the Manchester United because I'm one friend of the planning. There were a lot of friends waiting outside for the team, and I took a good position in the wings. During the time, there's a woman pushed me all the time, and she held the cameras up on my face to take the picture. And suddenly, she just like pushed me and then squeezed me to my front. I said, "Hi, excuse me," and there was no answer. And she's continuing to pretend he was the person who stood in the front. What I learned from this is like, I know we met a lot of respect every day. So, from the good story, I know that there are a lot of nice people in the world, and we need to show more respect to others. For bad and ugly story, I know that we need to compare with others to show where should we improve and do better. In summary, it's easy to respect others, but it's also easy to show disrespect to others. So it's really important to respect others to give more positive energy to our society. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, staff there for some feedback. We'll start in the rear. Okay, where are we? Yes, back here. Yes, please.
Hi, I'm Ludovica.
What's your name?
Ludovica.
What?
Ludo.
Lulo, yeah. Lulo, okay. Lulo, go for it.
I like the face. It was easy to understand and follow. Okay.
You what, like what?
The face.
Good animation on her face. Is that what you were saying? Okay. Good, thank you. Lubo. Improvement.
Hi, Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Really quick, I think it was a really good improvement from last time. We really followed the outline, like the structure of the speech.
Yeah.
I'd definitely say maybe move around more and like kind of like
Yeah.
be more comfortable. But definitely it was a really good improvement.
Right, exactly. Yes. Remember then we want to move 3 times to the left, to the right 3 steps, to the left 5 steps, and then back to center. Remember? So let me see you do that right now. Tell us about your morning. Walk and talk. I got up, I brushed my teeth, go like that. Go ahead. Talk and walk, and don't lead. You want to lead with the foot you're stepping in that direction. If you're stepping right, step with your right foot first. But go in the power stance first, yeah. Okay, so now start telling us about your morning and start walking to the right.
I had a foreign relations of the U.S. class this morning.
Stop, that's 3 steps. Get in the power stance. Stay there, keep talking for a while. Tell us about you said you had a boring history class? Is that what you said?
It was kind of boring because today we talk about history between the...
Stay in the power stance. Yeah. Don't rock. Good. Now go back 5 steps that way and lead with the left foot. Left foot, left. Lead with the left foot. Left foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Talk to this side of the room.
During the class, during all the class, we asked a lot of questions about the relationship between North Korea and China and Soviet Union and U.S.
And then 3 steps back to center. Lead. No, you never cross your leg. Lead with the foot you're stepping in the direction of. So step with your right foot. 2, 3. Back to center. Okay? That's how you walk. Okay, good. Let me talk to you about your speech. You're starting to get it, the assignment, better. Were you repeating the mantra, I respect you, I respect you, I respect you all the time? Yeah, that's the assignment. And that generates you to do things when you repeat it. It makes you a better listener. It makes you go get people bottles of water when they help you, etc. What I still wasn't seeing a lot was the mantra, I respect you so much, present in your presentation, how it functioned. See? Yeah. So, in your first story, the emergency, your friend sprained her ankle or her leg. And so a worker helped you, and you got him or her a bottle of water, right? And they said, thank you. And to you, this was an example of respect, right? Is that right? And did it come because you were repeating the mantra, I respect you? Or was this just a respectful act that happened to happen? Can you speak up, please?
Yeah, I think it's like the,
I'm 5 feet away from you and I can't hear you.
like the respect between two people, like
Uh-huh.
he respect us and we respect him to show our respect.
Yes.
Like, like the same is also sends him, but also like show respect because he looks very tired. Because it's like the midnight, like 1 a.m.
Okay. Did you say the mantra while you were in this situation? The mantra. Do you know what the mantra is? M-A-N-T-R-A? No. Okay. I failed. That's the phrase we use, I respect you, I respect you, I respect you. The mantra is a sound or a phrase you repeat until it becomes second nature to you. Can you say it repeatedly right now? Can I hear you say it?
Say, I respect you.
Yeah.
I respect you, I respect you, I respect you.
Keep saying it.
I respect you, I respect you, I respect you, I respect you, I respect you.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it, only silently. Do you understand?
Yeah, but I didn't say like I say something about respect. The word respect.
Yeah, and what happens, Len, is when you repeat those words, it makes you respectful. It makes you open doors, give bottles of water to people, be kind, say please, be nice, right? Yeah. Okay, the bad story was with noodles. Now, somehow you didn't get the noodles you wanted, right?
It's like I got the noodles like
Louder.
I got a noodle. It's like the worker gave me my plate. I like held my at the table a glass, the glass here.
Louder.
I tried to get a plate on the top of the table, but the worker just like threw the table like
Threw it at you.
on the
Yeah. Uh-huh. And you found this disrespectful. Yes? Yes. So how did you saying the mantra, I respect you, come into play? Were you saying it?
Yeah, just like say, can I have salsa please? Thank you.
You were being polite, but you weren't saying the mantra. Right. You need to say the mantra. Okay. And the ugly story. You went to see Manchester United because I am a fan. And there were a lot of fans there, and a woman walked in front of you and took cuts and blocked your view. Right?
so crowded.
Yes.
She was like keeping push me like
Louder, please. I can't even hear you, and I'm in the front row.
like she's kept pushing me like all the time because
Pushing you. And you found that disrespectful.
no, it's just like later she just held the camera
Under-
over my face and then just squeezed like in front of me exactly.
Right. That was disrespectful. Right? And how did you doing the experiment play into this experience? Were you saying, I respect you?
I just tried to say hi, excuse me.
You're saying, excuse me, but you weren't saying, I respect you, right? Right? Right. Okay, well, the reason I had you do this over again, Lynn, was because the assignment was for you to walk around and to say, I respect you, I respect you, I respect you silently as many as 1,000,000 times. Okay? And then tell us what happened when you did it. Okay? You understand what the assignment was? Okay. Thank you. Yes.
4 minutes and 25 seconds.
Yeah.
4 minutes and 25 seconds.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, I'm listening. What?
You asked me to count the time.
Yeah, 4:45, right?
4 minutes and 25.
4:25, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, do we have any A's that want to volunteer to go? Come on down. No A's are volunteering. Any A's volunteering? Yay, let's hear it for the volunteer. Oh, thank you so much for volunteering. I appreciate that. Give me a moment to really locked in here. Can you move that thing away out of here or something? Or push it down that way over to the wall or something? Yeah. Thank you so much. So much better. And everyone did initial the roll, right? Okay, let me get you. You're not in the power stance, so let's start with that. Come a little closer. Don't be afraid of your audience. Yeah, much better. Good. Okay. And are you ready to rock and roll, sir? We have a new timer there. And Rosa stands before us. The first person to volunteer, let's hear it for her volunteering to share with us a film that really moved her. She's going to share with us, hopefully, 3 emotions. So, let us begin.
Hi everyone, my name is Rosa.
Hi, Rosa.
So hearing news about terrorist attacks and crime scenes really terrifies me. But even more terrifying is the idea of living through dead bodies, hatred and shootings as a part of your everyday life. Right in front of your eyes, this phenomenon called war. So today I want to share with you a film that really moved me. It's titled Innocent Voices. It made me feel devastated, anxious, and hopeful. And a film reviewer named Jimmy Briggs reviewed this film to be a miracle in Hollywood loaf, depicting the themes of childhood and war, and probably one of the most realistic surveys of war ever made. And this is exactly what this film meant to me. A realistic survey of war of an 11-year-old child named Chava, but not only that, the realistic survey of war that my mom and dad lived through. The first manner this film moved me was that it made me feel devastated. The scene in this film that made me feel devastated was the scene where the mother had to leave the children for one night without knowing that there was going to be a shooting that night for work purposes. And so essentially the eldest son, the 11-year-old, had to control the situation, had to put mattresses against the walls and just care for his little brother and his little sister, and all of that just as an 11-year-old. And now, the reason this film made me feel devastated, the scene made me feel devastated, was because knowing that I remember of a story Mom told me similar to this, having lived through this war. She told me of a story where her father actually had to leave for a day without knowing that there was going to be a shooting that night. And so essentially she was left with her older sister alone, and she had to face what Chava did. She had to essentially put mattresses against the walls and also care for herself and her sister just like Chava did. And so, looking at this right in front of me, rather than just hearing the story, it was just really devastating that as 11 and 12-year-olds, they had to go through this. And the second way this film moved me was that it made me feel anxious. The scene that made me feel anxious was when the family of Chava were planning him a birthday surprise, and so for 12, so you can see how surprised and how happy he felt. But then eventually you can see, as he saw the 12 candles, he just turned to worried and just anxious. And the reason for this is because when children become 12 at this time in El Salvador, they became eligible to be enlisted in war. And just having to, confront this age, he felt very anxious. And similarly, I remember turning 18, having been celebrated with a surprise birthday party, and knowing that soon I would be going to UCLA and commuting and just being more independent. I felt very anxious to confront this age, just like Chava felt anxious to confront being 12. And the last way this film moved me was that it made me feel very hopeful. The scene that made me feel hopeful was the scene where Chava's uncle came he was affiliated with the soldiers, and he knew that there was going to be a shooting that night, and so he came to comfort Chava and his family for one night. And that night there was going to be a shooting, and it was just an overwhelming situation for Chava because his neighbor had died, and it was just a very hard shooting. So it was a lot of shootings that night. So, just having this fatherly figure for the first time, since his real father moved to the U.S. So having this fatherly figure in front of him for the first time throughout the shooting, you can see how calm he felt to have this, and how hopeful he felt with his fatherly figure. Similarly, I remember of a time in the fall quarter of my junior year, going through an overwhelming situation where I was taking 4 classes, I was commuting, and on top of that, I was volunteering at a clinic. I was just being very overwhelmed. But I remember one day in particular, going home that night, going home to my family and feeling that love and the support. All of a sudden, I felt very hopeful and like everything was going to be okay. And similarly to Chava's situation, where having that fatherly figure just made him feel very hopeful. So, in summary, I have shared with you all 3 ways this film has moved me. It has made me feel devastated, anxious, and hopeful. And although this film was really hard for me to watch, knowing that this is exactly what my parents had gone through, not only hearing the stories, but actually seeing it right in front of me, it made me feel, it was really hard for me to watch. But in the end, it just made me be able to see how, like, in every struggle, there's always certain things that can be applied to every struggle. And also, there should be no doubt in this room that this film has moved me. And as I mentioned in the beginning, going through a life of dead bodies, shootings, and hatred is not easy, but the fact that my parents went through this just makes me feel like there's always light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how terrifying the situation can be. Thank you.
Thank you. There's the time.
4:53.
4:53, just in the nick of time. Let's go back to the back row. And we're here.
Reshma.
Hi, Rosa.
I really liked your speech. It was really well said. I could hear you. It was really easy to follow along. I really liked the way you connected it.
Hi, my name's Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
I really liked your speech too, but if I have to give a correction, I would say maybe slow down and talk slower and a little bit clearer so everything is said
Yes.
clear.
Yeah, for sure.
But thank you, it's very good.
Thank you, Lauren. Yeah. That was a good speech, Rosa, and you had all the parts there, so that was good. As I've said to others, remember you have an international audience, and so you want to respect that and come down, start slower, and be a little slower. Come forward. You were, when you watch yourself tonight on YouTube, you're going to see that even though you started up close, you immediately retreated to the back of the wall, and you kept yourself almost to the back of the wall the whole time, there and there, and almost as if you were afraid of your audience. So watch that, and don't give off that kind of nonverbal. Second large picture issue of slowing down is what I want you to do is take a yellow highlighter like this little Sharpie here and emphasize key words so that instead of, when I hear the news of a terrorist attack at a crime scene in one place or another, I get terrified. No, not really. When I hear there's a terrorist attack or crime scene, I get terrified, right? You know, let's get some stress on words, and let's let the words hang until the audience gets the feel and the meaning of the words, right? You have a bad habit of getting out of the power stance, so feet wider than your shoulders. I know it's not very natural feeling to stand that way, but it's like a tripod, and so you won't rock back and forth. Let me talk about the details of your speech and give you some feedback on that. Your intro was a personal story, which was fine. I would have liked to have had you, sort of relive and refeel the terror that you feel. Stress the name of the movie, Innocent Voices. And let's get the narrative to come out with your voice. It made me feel devastated, anxious, and hopeful, see? As opposed to, it made me feel devastated, anxious, and hopeful. Right, zipped right over it. Let me compliment Rosa on her Chicago style. See the footnote at the bottom of the page? It's right there, the way it's supposed to be, as well as she has her canaille at the end. Constant and never-ending improvement, that stands for. She has 3 goals. Excellent. Now, you had your film review nicely incorporated into your speech. Remember, everybody, I want you to say whether you agree or disagree with the film reviewer. He said it was the most realistic survey of war ever made. You say, I agree. Okay? On Devastated, you related the story of your father going out and your aunt having to protect the family alone and putting up mattresses and knowing what she went through. And you return to the emotion of feeling devastated. Go back and feel that emotion, and that's why I felt devastated. On anxious. Let's go to your, you talked about the fact that you were the UCLA kind of experience, and you were coming here and we're sure you were going to, it was all going to work out, and so less time with your family and so forth, and you were anxious about that. That was good, and so I felt your anxiety. On hopeful, you shared good story about 4 classes and still volunteering and worrying you're not going to make it, and everything was hopeless, and then you returned to the safety net of your family, and then you felt that everything was going to be all right regardless of what happened. So again, let me just go back to those 3 things. Let's let the narrative come out a little bit more. So you want to say, so first way to feel maybe it was devastated, but besides devastated, I also felt anxious, and do this with your voice. See? Besides devastated and anxious, I also felt hopeful. See, we're coming at an emphatic style of delivery. See, it's more interesting to listen to than just, this quick pace, zip, 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 zip. I know you wanted to get it all in 5 minutes and not go overtime, and that was your highest goal. But it's better to trim and edit and say less and get it within the time frame. Your summary, your conclusion, and your tie back was excellent. Your canai, face forward while moving across the room, you did that. Talk while moving across the room, that's the same thing. Be confident in the speech delivery without flashcard, you did that. The only thing I would say, and I talked to you about the board, watch what you're doing with your hands. You're doing a little bit excessively more. Just let them be free by your side. Shake out the tension and let them gesture as they will. But overall, nice job, Rosa, and thank you again for going first. Do we have another A that will come down and do their speech? All right, so I have to call on somebody. Okay, that's cool. Just a minute, let me find my film speech.
This is self-evaluation.
Self-evaluation, yeah. Self-evaluation. Did everyone give me their self-evaluation? Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. All right. Okay. Could we hear from Khalid? Is there a Khalid in the house? Oh, we lost Khalid. Okay, this is going to be fun going through this list. How about Hayocean? Hayocean? No. Jing Soon Chin. Jing Soon Chin, no? But all the A's are dropped. Michelle Gomez. Yeah. Yeah, good. Cheer for Michelle, yeah. Hi, Michelle. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Okay. Oh, Michelle, that chair shows up in the camera picture. Could you put it up against the board there, please? Thanks so much. Now remember, we want to stay, we don't want to cleave the boards. Come forward, yes, good. Very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice. Okay. Perfect. Okay, Michelle stands before you in the power stance. Managing attention, communicating respect, making sure all computers are closed and phones are away. She's saying to herself, I respect my audience. She's fighting friendly eyes, nose around the sun, saying your name with love. Very strange.
Hi, my name's Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
I can't say that I've watched many films that I felt like I could truly connect with, or that I could relate to, or that have even moved me. However, this particular film that I'll be talking about today was one that I felt that I really related to and that made me feel a vast array of emotions. Claudia Pruitt from USA Today called it a powerful and evocative film that with yearning for determination and love. Today I want to share with you a film that truly moved me, Under the Same Moon. It made me feel nostalgic, it made me laugh, and it made me cry. Some themes that were within this film include friendship, love, determination, and family. So the first way this film moved me was that it made me feel nostalgic. Rosario is the protagonist of the film, and she is an immigrant mother who comes to the United States and leaves her son behind in Mexico in order to give him a better life. So this particular scene made me feel nostalgic because she wakes up at 4:30 a.m. to go to her housekeeping job every day, and for as long as I can remember, my mother does the same thing. She wakes up in the morning to go to work, and she is also a single mother and an immigrant. And she worked very hard to make sure that my brothers and I had a roof over our head and food on the table, just like the protagonist in the story. The second way this film moved me was that it made me laugh. So there's a particular scene in the film where the son is staying with a family that before he can go see his mom, and they are around the dinner table and they are laughing and having a good time and just like making jokes and stuff. And this reminded me of when I used to watch soccer with my family. We used to do the same thing and make a lot of snacks and invite all of our friends over, and it was just a very happy and fun time. The third way this film moved me was that it made me cry. The final scene where Carlitos is finally reunited with his mom made me cry, not because I was sad, but because I was very grateful that my mom is always nearby, and particularly in the same country as I am. The emotion that was portrayed in the film when they first see each other is the exact same emotion I feel when I see my mom after just a few months of being here in UCLA. She's my best friend, and I can't imagine what it would be like to go 4 years without seeing her, like the characters in the story. In summary, I have told you 3 ways this film moved me. It made me nostalgic, it made me laugh, and it made me cry. I would really recommend that you watch this film because it has a great narrative, and there is no doubt that this film truly moved me.
Thank you. Maria here. Hi.
Hi, I'm Eve.
Hi, Eve. Hi, Eve.
I really like the speech, and the pace is okay. It's slow and that people understand the speech.
Understand? Yeah. That's desirable, isn't it, Eve? Yes, please. What?
Moving around in more
Gestures, not
gestures.
always push.
Have more gestures. Oh, good, yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, move 3 times. You were kind of stuck there in the middle, Michelle. I like your speech. Let's start on the positive. You knew the speech and you had most of the parts down and you were very fluent. So let's start on the positive. That was really good. And you didn't hide against the wall. You came forward and spoke to your audience. That was excellent, Michelle. But gosh, let me see you walk 3 times. Walk and talk. Tell us about your morning. And lead with the foot you're going to walk in the direction of. So if you're going to go right, step with your right foot first. Okay, begin.
So this morning I woke up and brushed my teeth, and then I had some breakfast, and then I walked to campus,
4, 5. Good. And talk a while there.
and then I had some lunch. I had a chemistry discussion, and now I am here presenting.
Okay. How could you help her improve her walk? What could she do better? What'd she do wrong? This way.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
Maybe to like face the audience while you're walking.
Keep it cheated forward. You turn sideways. Remember, you always want to keep your eyes on the audience all times, not sideways. Good. Okay, so if you walk 3 times, you won't be so nervous. Well, what a great movie you chose, Under the Same Moon, a fabulous movie, and one that many people have seen and enjoyed, and it's a good film to talk about. Let's start with your introduction. I told you it could be a poem, a quote, a story, a joke. You said, I haven't watched too many films that move me, but this film that I'm going to talk about did move me. I don't know what that was. Is that kind of an observation? I don't know. Kind of a story? So next time, Michelle, I'd like to see you have a poem, a quote, something that grabs the audience, draws them in, makes them want to listen, see? Ooh, wow, intrigued me by your beginning, see? And so review the segment in your text on intros and how important they are, and grab your audience and be more sticky. On your USA Today quote, I will repeat this again. You need to say whether you agree or disagree with the critic. And in your written script, you said, I couldn't agree more. But you didn't say that. You also didn't use the Chicago style down here at the bottom.
I put it on there, but when I printed it out, it went on the 3rd page.
It went on the 3rd page. Okay, well, it goes on the 1st page. Okay, so that is a problem. Okay, so your significance statement, which should have been Roman numeral 3, was good, but you labeled it as 4. So keep these the prompts in order. You kind of got them messed up. Okay? Your main body. And here's where I want to really try to help you. The first emotion you were trying to communicate was nostalgia, right? And you said this woman, the protagonist, Rosario, got up every morning at 4:30. And this reminded you of your hard-working single mother who got up every morning at 4:30 as a housekeeper to keep a roof over the head of you and your brothers and sisters and so forth. What you want to do is remember the feeling of nostalgia that you felt when you first saw this, re-feel it, that's called felt sensing, and say it again for the audience and say, and that's why I felt nostalgic, see? So there's no doubt you're communicating a feeling of nostalgia. On laugh. I got the feeling that, yes, there's good times to be had around the family soccer game, and it was all good. I just needed you to say, and that's why this film made me laugh, remembering the good times I had with my family. It made me laugh. Cry could have been your strongest emotion. And here's where we needed to have you almost tear up in remembering the emotion. You said you were separated from your mother, like the young person in the film was separated from the mother, and you felt, even though it was just a few weeks or a few months, when you finally saw her and got to hug her, as you put it, you remembered how much you missed her and you wanted to cry, and we needed to re-feel that emotion that you felt, and you needed to say to us, and that's why I wanted to cry. Repeat the emotion. So remember, folks, repeat the emotion at the end of what you're trying to communicate. Your summary was good. Your conclusion needs to say there should be no doubt in this room. The film really did move me. And then a tie back to your intro, which you didn't really have much of one to tie back to, so there was no place to go. On your canais, you said, project my voice, be confident, and walk 3 times. How'd it go?
Forgot because I was too nervous, but I know that it will help me next time if I do walk around.
Okay, yeah, it will relieve some of that nervousness. So, overall, a nice job, Michelle. Thank you. Thank you. 320. Okay, good. All right. So, is there a Tao Wen thing? No? Okay. How about Cagnary Heng? No? Amy Kim? No? Stephanie? Right here, yeah. Let's hear it for Stephanie. No, you're against the wall. Are you afraid of the audience? Yeah, no. And this way, one step, because you want to be right where that cord is. That's the center of the room. You are taller than the last speaker by a long shot. Yeah, that's it.
My shoes.
Shall I take off my shoes? Of course not. That's why we have focus on the camera. Okay. Stephanie is in the power stance, feet wider than her shoulders. She's looking around. They're talking. Making sure all phones are away. Computers are closed. She says to herself, I respect my audience. 5 friendly eyes in the front of the center, and then feel the love. Start your speech, Stephanie.
Hi, my name is Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
And I'm here to share with you a film that I found to be sad. It caused me to feel empathy and it caused me to feel disgust. The film is Queen of Catway. Youth is a shield to the harsh realities of slum living in Uganda, Africa. In the Disney film, ESPN, in the Disney and ESPN film, Queen of Catway. The story is about chess prodigy Fiona Matusi. And throughout the film, themes are discussed that are perhaps more adult appropriate than the PG-10 plus rating. The film moved me in 3 ways. First, the film moved me in that it caused me to feel disgust. There was a scene in the movie where Fiona was playing a chess match with a male, and she was winning. And so an onlooker made the comment that the male opponent was allowing Fiona to win him, basically saying that she's a girl and didn't deserve to, I guess, be winning. The opponent got up, I guess, embarrassed, walked away saying that he was never going to play her again. And so this caused me disgust because within that action itself, Fiona got up and said, oh, it was beginner's luck. She minimized her own ability in an effort to save the whatever integrity or loss of integrity her opponent felt, which caused me to feel that perhaps this was something that she learned, that it was, part of her socialization in the culture. And so it caused me disgust because it reminded me of a situation last fall quarter, actually 2016, where I felt like I was marginalized as a woman. And it happened within a group setting. I was one of 2 women and a group of 5. And it was the group project was to develop a business plan. And the business plan was an idea that I had brought to the group. The business idea, rather, was an idea that I had brought to the group. But one of the males in the group didn't feel comfortable with me taking the lead. So he did various things to basically undermine my position in the group. And in the end, I was so angry, but I was more so disgusted that this happened to me. Something that I had never personally experienced, being marginalized. So it made, the film reminded me of the same feeling that I had as a part of this group. The second way the film made me feel was sadness. There was a part in the film where Fiona's mother talks to her sister about looking like a prostitute. And so I felt sadness because there was a time I took a class that I had to do a logic model, and the logic model was based on it was a social enterprise class, and the logic model had to do with decreasing the AIDS and HIV problem in South Africa. And the way the logic model was planned, it showed that younger girls apparently thought it was safer to have sex with older men. And their error in thinking was that because they were older, they were safer in some way. And so that caused me to feel sadness. So just having the movie go over the same topic brought that feeling back. The third way the film moved me was that I felt empathy for the coach. The chess coach discussed a situation where his mother left him as I guess a 2-year-old, so he didn't learn his first name until he was 6 when his mother came back in his life, which reminded me of a circumstance that I experienced. My mother, I found out as a young adult that my mother didn't name me, that she actually didn't put a name on my birth certificate. My birth certificate said girl and my last name. So I kind of, referenced, it reminded me of my personal experience and finding out that, on my birth certificate, my name was missing. So I've discussed with you three reasons, 3 ways in which the film caused me disgust, sadness, and empathy, caused me to empathize with the character. The film Queen of Catway showed both the social and financial, so it showed financial and social results of poverty. And in conclusion, I recommend the movie to everyone. It's a film that has things that will appeal to any age viewer. That's it.
Thank you. Are we done with the back row? On the back row, yeah. Second row.
Hi, I'm Angelo.
Hi, Angelo.
I could really feel your emotion coming through in the speech. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. Ruben?
Hi, I'm Olivia.
Hi, Olivia.
I totally agree. Your emotions were great. You could really feel that. The only thing that I would say is sometimes it seems like you kind of lost your place or like use some verbal expressions like but otherwise it was
Okay. Okay. If you could step back just a little bit. Yeah. Good. Thank you. Well, Stephanie. No name Stephanie. Huh? That's an interesting story. Yeah.
I
When
forgot
you-
the quote, huh?
Yeah.
I forgot the quote.
When you watch yourself tonight on YouTube, what was the time, by the way?
6:47.
6:47. So you went a minute 47 over. So you really need to learn to respect the time and do some editing. And where the editing should have come is in the plot summaries. We didn't need to know all the little minutiae of what happened in the plot. We just needed to know what happened with you. It was enough to just say, he didn't know her name and this happened to me. Okay. Your introduction, you want to have a clear idea of what it is, and is it a poem, a quote, a story, and say it as that, and then tie back to that. You don't end on a conclusion, you end on a tie back, okay? So that's the first thing. On your thesis, where you said discuss sadness and empathy, you'll see tonight when you watch yourself on YouTube, you said it twice, which is okay for emphasis, I guess. But I don't know if you're aware you said it twice. I've talked to you about this before. I want your movement to be more purposeful, see? So we want you to move just to the left for the first way the film moved me. Stay there. 5 steps to the right. Second way the film moved me, stay there. And tell the whole story there. Third way the film moved me, stay there and finish up in the center. But you do a lot of pacing, okay, and it's distracting. You skipped your significance statement. So you want to do a checklist in your mind, Stephanie, to make sure you have all 7 parts. On a positive note, you had good feelings that you communicated that came through. You clearly, we had too long of a plot summary about the boy, the young liquor, I'll play you again. We don't need this. Just need, you were in a class, you had an idea, and they go, you're a woman, get lost. And they pushed you to the edge, and you felt disgusted that this experience happened. Right? And relive it, re-feel it, and the feeling that you were disgusted. And we came as close to having your feeling of disgust come through, and that was good. On sad, again, summary, we just didn't get the personal story, except your personal story about your logic games, and I didn't get how that made you sad. I didn't get the return to your sadness. I just got the logic games, but I didn't get your feeling about the sadness. We got lost in a story about younger women think it's safer to have sex with older men. Gosh. And finally, on empathy, and I think this was a pretty good one, your best one, really, in that the coach didn't even know the person's name. There's another similar scene in a law school movie where Professor Kingsfield, everyone wanted to work for him, and finally he met one of the boys that had worked for him for 3 years. He said, met him in an elevator, and he goes, what was your name again? The kid was just devastated, you know. The professor didn't know his name. Stephanie, you told the story of your mother not putting your name on your birth certificate, which was quite a surprising story. And to put it in the realm of our stickiness, it was an unexpected story. You know, it was very unexpected. And so it really stuck, made the speech sticky. And so that was good. Though you needed to feel, and so me not having first name except the one the nurse gave me, made me
Sorry,
feel
guys, I didn't
empathy.
tell you all the story.
Okay, we don't have time. You already went 2 minutes over.
Yeah.
Summary, just 3 things. Happy, sad, empathy. In conclusion, there should be no doubt in this room the film really moved me. That's your thesis. That's what you're trying to persuade everybody to believe, that the film moved you. And your tie back to Disney and ESPN never happened because you didn't start with Disney, ESPN, so you didn't have anything to tie back to. You're connived. Don't say don't pace, and don't laugh at your own stories. How to go?
Not so good with the first two. There was nothing funny in this one to laugh about, so that part was fine. But the other two, I made a mess. And I consciously thought about it. I said, I'm pacing. And I couldn't stop because I think it's connected to my train of thought. So I spoke slower, like trying to figure out. It's like, I think that helps me in some way. So I really have to get a handle on that.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Stephanie. When you practice aloud with another person, you need to tell them that you're pacing too much and tell them to have you say stop pacing, because you're almost not aware of it. And and if you don't do it in practice, you won't do it here. If you do it in practice, you're going to do it here. So don't do it in practice, you won't do it here. Otherwise, nice job. Thank you. Okay. Any more A's to volunteer? Let's see. How about Cagnary? Okay, we had a K. How about Amy? We had Stephanie. Okay, let's try Rosa. We have Rosa. Okay, good. Nice bio major. Okay, good. Okay. Ka Sin Tong. No? Okay. How about Terry? Terry Vo. No? Lost Terry. Linda. Linda? No, Linda. Any more A's? No? Okay. Let's go to the B's. Any B's want to volunteer? Are you an A? Oh, good. Thank you. What's your name? Eve Arden? What's your last name, Eve? What? G-U-I-Y-U. S-U-A. What? H-U-A. Okay. And you're an A. Good. Rock and roll. Oh, we have to change the battery. You're